Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to Friday or Saturday, wherever you are in the world. This is USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN Kerbeck, and our show today is presenting Pet Psychic AMINAH. And we're going to be talking about a subject that is near and dear to my heart. It is all about spiders. Everything you need to know about spiders, everything you don't want to know about spiders. It's all about spiders. Let's present Pet Psychic AMINAH, who is an expert in this area as well as many others. Da da da! I present you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wow, this is really creepy, by the way. I just want to tell you that.
Well, I could have picked, a cliche of October or something, Halloween or some other catchphrase, but no, I love all this crazy stuff. And I sent you a picture of me holding the tarantula.
You definitely did. And I'm going to bring that up. Hopefully it's actually on the other computer. So while you're talking, I'll go and get it.
That's good. And if you've seen tarantulas, they're large. They're very large. They're furry and all that type of wonderful stuff. But if you know me and you know the deep glee on my face, and I'm like, I'm in heaven, I've got a spider in my hand. And what you're not seeing is, so I'm doing an educational seminar with a whole bunch of people in this room. So we were stopping places for the students to come by, learn something, move on, and they had to ask good questions because they had an essay and the teachers gave them question marks. So it was really great. We were in an independent school, so they just really had that markup higher, and we had a lot of, I'd say 5 to 7 types of animals with us that are travel and education animals. Tarantulas happen to be very travelable. And all I had to do was make sure that I stressed with the kids, you've got to be calm, because you're going to freak the tarantula out. And then if he runs off my hand, then I got a whole room of people screaming and I can't do that. But what I do is I would roll my hand over. So the tarantula thought, hey, I'm going to get out of here. And then about the 20th time my hand did this, he'd like, yeah, I'm not going nowhere. But it was a great way to honor the fact that this animal wanted to run away, let him feel like he was doing that. He hadn't met a treadmill yet. It just was normal, natural for me to go, okay, here I'm going to be the treadmill. So you can see I've got both my hands staggered in a very maybe strange way in the picture. But what I didn't send you were the really creepy ones where he was on my shoulder for half the day. And then he got up under my collar, and I had to get a coworker to eventually get him out, because he's like, I'm just done. I'm going to hide it. And I didn't have very long hair like I don't now. So it's just like, I have stories to tell.
Well, I'm going to go and look for the picture. So I'm going to give you the screen. But if you could start off, obviously we've seen spiders. Tell us just in general about spiders as a species. What should we know? And I'll be back.
What you should know, and what I really, really want to stress that you take away from this episode, that I'm always trying to teach and show that there is a reason that everything exists. And if you are afraid of anything, that's okay. I'm not asking you to not have your fears, but what I'd like to see is maybe education and growth. So with spiders, it is that typical horror movie, ghosts and goblins and mummies coming out. They've got spiders. what you don't understand is maybe we don't understand how vital they are. I personally don't like mosquitoes. There is nothing going to get me to be friends with mosquitoes. And luckily, I live in a state of California that we really don't have very many. But I have traveled extensively, and I've been in parts of the United States and in abroad that, oh my gosh, the moisture in the air alone, they just come out in droves. I've been to Alaska, and literally they have stuffed animals that are mosquitoes because they're so have folklore of the most giant mosquitoes. Now, I didn't run into any larger mosquitoes up there, but oh, we were bitten up constantly and just came up with all kinds of creative reasons and ways to keep them off of us without just some kind of bug spray, which is really bad for your skin. So if anybody understands mosquitoes, I'm all for it. But I'm going to have you understand, hopefully, spiders and the good they're doing because they eat mosquitoes.
Hey, mosquitoes. That was going to be my question. All right, I found the picture. Let's
Right.
bring this up, and then I'll let you go ahead and talk us through it again.
So this is me doing real life. I was working at a wildlife sanctuary, and we would bring certain animals that we could show the kids easily. So if you'll see, just what I'm talking about is hand over hand. This tarantula is like, I'm free, I'm out of the box. And he just started to take off and run as fast as he could. And luckily I can do the hand over hand thing pretty fast. And eventually he just stopped and sat in my hand. Later, which I didn't share this picture with you, Dr. JACALYN, because I know you'd be so thrilled, is he was on my shoulder for the rest, and he got up onto my collar, not in the fabric part, on my skin in the collar.
Now, how did you know that he, or I guess he or she, I don't know, was not
Exactly.
going to bite you?
Because I have a lifetime of working with all types of animals. When I was 11, I started working with actual wildlife, walking a dingo. If you've never walked a wild dog, oh, it's a whole different experience. But I'm really fortunate to have gotten as tall as I was going to get, and be an athlete, so I was very strong. I played a lot of sports where my arms, my legs had to be incredibly strong, and I had been playing that. Again, I'm the fifth child of a coach. So I was a lifeguard by the time I was 12. So I had a lot of power in my own body, and I knew that. I knew that I had the strength to also be calm. I was born that way. That was just something I understood. And as the education got thicker and thicker, and I got more and more hands-on experience, much less reading, and then a college degree, it reaffirmed that my energy had to stay equal. So what I found, and this came on naturally in the beginning, especially when you see now I'm working with this tarantula where all these children are all over the place. They're not quiet. This is a whole room full of like a size of a gym. And so we've got people talking and walking around, and I've got to increase the comfort of this spider so that it doesn't run away, first of all, because that would be tragic. We have the whole room cleared, and he might get injured, and he could die, and somebody could step on him, or on accident or otherwise. So I feel really, really committed to a calm energy, to holding it. And so when I first had him, he ran like crazy. And that went on for about 6 or 7 minutes. And everybody who walked by went, wow, how do you keep up? Well, I can see where his legs are going and I can keep up. And then he stopped. That's when we were able to start getting pictures, because I have him on his shoulder at one point. I have him in my hands at another point, because the trust was built that I wasn't there to hurt him. My energy was calm and quiet, and he never got anywhere in my hands. He just kept running. And so he stood still and let the kids really get close. But I made sure the children who came, and they were everything from first graders to 12th graders. So we had a very diverse age group. And all I said as they walked up is, you must be calm. You must be quiet. You cannot scream. You can't say, oh my God, it's fire. And I'm like, no, that's not going to work here, because then the spider's trying to figure out what's trying to kill him. And that was the lesson. That's the lesson of us all being calm.
A question I have for you, this is really good education you're giving. If we were to encounter a tarantula or some other, we've got some other pictures of spiders that are not just your normal little black, brown, whatever they are. The first thing is to remain calm.
First thing is to remain calm, because imagine you are the one hearing somebody scream. When we as humans, that what does that saying go? We all are fire engine chasers. Things. What is that thing where everybody wants to see the gory?
Ambulance chasers.
There, ambulance chasers. There you go. I knew you know what I was talking about. And we don't want that. We don't want ambulance chasers. We don't want that crisis, that curiosity, whatever you want to call it. The only way to be with a pet, all of this translates to your pets too. If you want your cats to behave, then you probably shouldn't be running around screaming in your household and throwing, dishes all over the place. And the cat's like, oh, well, this is how we live. Chaos. This is how the language here goes. And that's not healthy for anybody. So to work with animals, and you'll love this. I was in a cage enclosure where we had reptiles. So these were snakes. And I absolutely am huge passion, of course, for snakes all my life. So I am holding a new one we've only had for a few months. So getting used to this animal, used to us holding them and handling them. Right then the cage was being cleaned. I was holding them. And then some kids came around where I was, and they were high strung. And, oh my God, it's a snake, it's a snake. And I kept going, calm, be calm. And in that interlude, the snake turned around and started biting me, just chewing my hand. And everybody started screaming. And I kept saying, everybody calm down and he will stop. And as soon as everybody stopped screaming, I stopped getting bit. It didn't hurt. It was like if you've ever sewed and you sewed your finger when you're stitching up a hem or something by hand stitching. It was like that. And again, I know I'm not dying. I know it's not a permanent. I get worse scratches and stuff playing tennis and dodgeball on the concrete. It's about keeping perspective. But that's who I am. I also acknowledge that is not how the majority of the world and most people are, rightfully, for them, afraid. So what I want to share always is a life is a life. And just think what spiders eat. Mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes.
Now, wait. I have a question for you. So in case people aren't aware of this, and I don't want to misspeak when it comes to spiders, but I believe that spiders have multiple sets of eyes.
Up to 9 to 12.
9 to 12 sets of eyes.
Yes.
So they can see all around,
right,
all the time. That's pretty cool, actually.
It is really cool. Could you imagine? Nobody's hiding. You get a mother.
There's nowhere to hide.
And then
tell us about, if you know, about the process of spinning the silk or whatever it is to create the
I don't know the science behind it, and it's not all spiders. It is only a chosen few. You'll get some that will spin, and it's like silk. You'll get some countries that raise spiders that have a spun line that is so sought after that they can use in clothing. Silkworms, that's where we get silk, from that thread of all these little worms, and they become butterflies and bugs and all these other things come from that spin. So if you've ever accidentally walked into one, I don't know you, but I have. I was like, whoop, didn't see that. And I got a web stuck all over me. It's a tad sticky. It's very thin, but they can literally look like Tarzan coming off the trees, hanging down, and they can stop and start it, cut it, move it. It's phenomenal what a spider can do. Not all spiders have that type of a netting or that type of spinning. Everyone, as there's some that live in the ground, there's some that live in trees, and there's some that create webs.
Thank you. That was very helpful. Appreciate it. All right, let's take a look at some other photographs. This one is really freaking me out.
Doesn't he look like he's a guy in a bad mood?
So now we don't see 9 or 12 sets of eyes, do we? Or are they there at the top?
No, you just see the two. Not all have, multiples. But doesn't he look like he's there for like a football game or?
Yeah, he looks kind of cute in a way.
He is, isn't he?
Now, is he poisonous?
Yes. All the ones I chose to show are poisonous.
All right, tell us about the poison, where it is, how, the whole story.
So this one is called as a jumping spider. So guess what it does?
As though it's not bad enough, now it's jumping.
And there are more than 4,000 known species of jumping spiders. This is just one. And 300 of them are found in the United States and Canada. So a jumping spider is just, can you imagine those Olympics in those legs? But wanting to know that animals and insects that we're talking about have different capabilities, like you're going to get herd animals. A deer and a cow might both eat grass, but they don't get around necessarily just because they have 4 legs. I bet the deer is going to kick you, is going to hurt, but the cow hit you, it might hurt a little more. The legs they got on that. But they're similar, but not the same. All spiders are similar, but not the same. So what I love is, and I know you're going to think even more creepy things about me, but I love how fuzzy they are. I've actually gotten to touch so many of these that they're just so fuzzy. Is that weird enough for you?
No comment.
Don't worry, I have none in my home. My girls wouldn't stand it. They're like, no, we're not doing spiders. Now, what do we know about a red mark on a belly?
And what's that yellow thing, by the way?
That's one of his spun nests.
A nest? So there's spiders in there?
Yep, could be babies. Could be a whole bunch of babies, billions and billions of them.
Oh my Lord. Now, are they in eggs? Like, how does that work?
It just depends on the spider. Some have this kind of egg. That's its cocoon. Kind of like, you have butterflies and they come in cocoons and that type of thing. They're going to spin this. This is going to come from their thread, the parent's thread. And when they hatch, it's like a horror movie gone wrong, gone right. And there's millions. They don't all survive. So you really got to put out millions when you're that little, and the birds are hanging out going, hey, look, hors d'oeuvres are being served.
Now, wait, a question I have. It looks like the spun cocoon of joy is attached to one of the legs. Is that where the spinning comes from, or that's
the spinning comes from usually from the bottom? See the red part, and then you see that it kind of looks like a pee-pee hole somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
It's coming from that area that the silk is made within, and then they create this nest for their young, because not all spiders stay and wait till their young are born. They are let loose. There is one spider I don't think I included, but it's a flying spider. And what it does is basically creates like a parachute, and off they go when they're born. And
wait. We've got jumping, and now we've got flying. Oh my word.
You're never going to dodge these, I tell you. I just want to own that. Yes, that's yeah. So your jumping spiders can jump very far, but please remember this. We are carnivores. They do acknowledge us as carnivores. They don't want anything to do with us at all. because we're bigger, we're faster, we're meaner, we're crueler. They cannot threaten you, but you can still, get them anyway and kill them anyway. And I want to show everybody there is a reason for everything. Now, if anybody, again, knows about mosquitoes, I'm dying to know. That one I don't get. But there is a process of how these all go through. Now, I'm hoping, Dr. Jacalyn, can you bring up the brown recluse, please? Teeny tiny, well, not teeny.
The cellar spider, wolf spider on a log?
A brown recluse.
I don't have it.
You don't have, ooh, that's bad. It's a skinny picture of a brown spider on a rock.
Is this it?
Let's see. Nope, skinnier on a rock.
That's all I
Anyways.
have. Can you share your screen?
Let me see. I don't know if I know how to do that. I haven't done that in a long time. Let's see. Where would I download the picture?
Well, let me see if I can go find it. I don't think you sent it, but
anyways, a brown recluse is very skinny and very much a long-legged spider. It is considered one of the most poisonous spiders that we have in the United States, much less, I'm sure they have worse, better ones in other places. So be very cautious about all spiders, because you don't need to find out I'm allergic to it, or I can't breathe after I got bit. I want you to appreciate them and not kill them. But there we go. But I'd like to see that you also stay safe. Now, this spider specifically, this is the brown recluse. And I want to really caution you on this one, especially I know in our area. I don't see, nope, it's everywhere. Recluse is found in Southern Europe, temperate Africa, in North and Central and South America. In the United States, brown recluse spiders are found predominantly in the Midwest and Southeast. Of the 11 recognized spiders, 6 are of public health importance. This would be one of them. It can really make you sick. If you're, I would assume that if you're immune compromised or in other things, the brown recluse is really the one I want everybody to focus on and say, just walk the other way. Don't kill them. I'm not asking, because spiders have a reason and they do help the ecosystem. I was going to say the economy, but that too, their own economy. But recluses are highly poisonous. Now,
where's the little mouth?
Under those little things that look like pinchers. The mouth is always a little on the downside. So think like a salmon and that type of stuff. You know how their lip kind of goes low and their mouth is underneath. So they're not going to show. These are not fangs. This is not something that we have at Halloween. But it's so easy. Can you imagine how easy it would be to miss it as you sat on a log? And you went for a walk.
I'm not going outside again. Do they live in the house also?
They can get in anywhere that they think they have a chance at eating. So if you have a bunch of mosquitoes and bugs and that kind of stuff, they're going to come in for the insects. So don't.
Now, is every spider that's brown a brown recluse?
No. It would be like saying every human is kind.
Okay.
Nope. That doesn't work either. And every spider is not out to get you. They want to survive. Like any animal, even if you get a dog that has gone wild and is now living on their own and eating scraps, and they turn from this lovely house pet into this dog that growls and charges at people and all that, because he's now trying to survive. He's got to get food every day. He's got to find water every day. He doesn't have that. So you can take a pet animal who has known love and kindness and then doesn't. and they can be cruel. You know, people who have been abused and lived this wonderful life, had great parents, or married somebody then, or whatever happened, and had a horrible traumatic boss or whatever, and it has turned them into this scared, horrible person. Fear is what I find is the most detrimental emotion, because fear means you have no idea what they're going to do next. When you have an animal in fear, the same thing happens. You have no idea what they'll do. There is no guarantee that they're going to sit when you say sit, or this, or when they, because maybe every time they sat with the person that abused them, that created this fear, and that's usually how things like this go, that you have a lost dog and everybody throws rocks at it. Everybody just says, no, that's a slimy dog and I don't want it. So now people plus throwing rocks is what people do. Can you imagine trying to tame that animal again?
No.
Or the same thing with abused children, the same thing with abused adults. If all they know in this part of their life is abuse and retaliation, how do you say, oh, people are good? I haven't met them. Have you met them? You know, that's the question. So give animals, insects included, the chance that, you know, 5,000 generations of raid has taken out my grand uncle's brother, sister. So why can't spiders? They don't have that cognitive expression, but they still know this kills me, this doesn't.
Now, on that subject, of course, we can't speak for all spiders or even one spider, but typically if they are in a I'm looking for food mode, and let's say they're overhead, will they just drop down on top of you thinking that you could be the food, or do they want to stay away from you?
No, because they have the sense of smell of their own. They have the sense of taste, touch, the things we have, but they're a part of their tentacles. They're a part of their walking. They understand what they're walking on and where they're going. I don't know all the science in their nasal capacity, but their eyes on some of them are quite large. So,
yeah, we saw that on this one right here.
I know, and those wonderful googly eyes. This guy just looks like he's had a bad day forever.
He looks kind of like an ape.
He does, doesn't he? A little grumpy old man.
He really does. Now, tell us about this one.
Now, is this the recluse?
This is wolf spider on a log.
Wolf spider. So it is. Look at the blend in to the tree. Look at how you could easily miss him, because what is he's after is not the birds to find him. He's sharing space with birds. And
so birds will eat him?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know how many babies you're going to feed with that thing?
Wow. Now, what is the big bulb thing at the back?
His butt.
It's his butt.
And that's where all the silk comes from.
Okay.
That's where the web, all spiders have some form of this big butt, as we're talking about it. And that's where your silk's going to come from.
Now, is the silk something that they can make on demand, or there's only certain times during the year, or
they make on demand? They make on demand. And again, it's about making sure they're well fed, well hydrated, all of that type of stuff to make sure that they can make good silk. It's the same with a silk worm. And now that's something we harvest for clothing. We can't, I don't know anybody who can do that with spiders because it's not strong enough. Silkworm is very easily made into thread and fabric and all that type of stuff. Spider webs, I don't believe they're strong enough in structure. They're not meant for that. And there's nothing, I don't know that anybody's ever tried. Well, I guess we have to Google that and see if anybody's tried to, harvest that, because it's surely possible that somebody has done that kind of stuff. And the spider that we were talking about, the black one, it's, with a little greenish purpley face. Yeah. And did you see what its name is? Jumping spider.
Jumping, yes.
Yeah, let's not belong to that one if you don't want them around. But the common name is jumping ability. It has this great ability to jump, which uses to catch prey. And and there's over 400,000 species of jumping spiders. So I'm just giving you a little look at what is out there, not the last story or the first story. So do you have the long-bodied cell spider?
Yes.
It has the really skinny legs. It reminds me of like a daddy long leg and a spider had a kid. That little bitty body and little long legs. But where they need, and of course everybody probably knows, but just want to remember, arachnoids are the technical term for spiders. So these are arachnoids, all of them are arachnoids. This one absolutely loves the dark and the damp and the cellars and the basements. Don't you love how I could here? And it has been referred to as the daddy long legs of spiders. Not the same thing. Daddy long legs are just a different creature, but these long stick legs. Can you imagine where they must thrive? And this one is in the United States, in Canada.
Okay.
And you wouldn't even see it because he's just so small.
Why do you think his legs are so big and his body so small?
Because of his habitat. Every animal has either morphed as the world has changed, and it's amazing. We have ocean animals. I wish I had one off the top of my head I could think of. We have ocean animals that were, for example, snakes at one time, and now they're eels or some kind of electric eels in the water. I don't know if that is a transition, but do you see, you could make that sail and say, oh, he used to live on land. There's a lot of animals that have adapted to what the world looks like today. The long body and little short spiders' legs they're called in piles, and from dark to damp places, cellars and basements. They are the perfect, like if he was on what is that? A tightrope. That's what I'm thinking of. A tightrope. So that is a really one. But what I really want you to see if you can get the one that's called the brown recluse. Do we have that one up? He's on a rock.
We just looked. Yeah, we just looked at that one.
Okay, bring that back just for a second, please, if you can.
I just closed it down.
I don't know if I said this. Maybe I did. But I really want for everybody, especially in the United States, to be able to identify this one, because we all know what a black widow. You can see I didn't even include it because it's this jet black, and underbelly has a red diamond on it. It is pretty easy for most of us to identify a black widow spider, and just avoid them. That would be really great. So with this one, this is what I grew up, especially all the hiking and trails and backwoods and cabins and places with wood piles and wherever hiding places. I didn't know about this until I was studying animal science in junior high. When I was a junior in high school, I really got into it pretty deep. These brown recluse are highly poisonous. Yeah, it's from what I remember. I didn't brush up. I apologize. There's just too many things to talk about, and I wanted to just highlight it for you. I didn't need to be an expert today, but it is, from what I remember, and somebody could be glad to correct me, is more poisonous in the bite than a rattler.
And why would it bite you if you're rummaging through a wood pile? It might be in there.
Is threatened. Any animal, and some people will bite you, hit you, throw something at you, whatever their means of protection when you're afraid. I think everybody can understand that in a state of fear, we have stampedes in ball games where a plane crashed overhead, and what does everybody do? They run for the exits. and how many people get knocked down, run over, et cetera, building falls. We just went through a terrible time where there's glass falling and earthquakes happening, and these tall buildings in New York or wherever have this issue. But running and being panicked is the worst thing to do. It is the hardest thing to control. But if you can teach yourself to go, wait a minute, let me assess this, let me do this. A brown recluse is not your friend. That can be a deadly bite. You are going to end up in the hospital. Anti-venom is going to be involved. And so many places that have brown recluses in their area have great anti-venom systems. The same with when I grew up in the desert, we had rattlesnake venom in our hospitals, because that is going to counteract the reaction to it. And we have a great medical system that can now fight with that. But I want people to understand what they're looking at. So you don't freak out about every spider. I just want you to respect them. But the ones that can do you the most damage, I'd like you to respect them the most. Just go the other way. Just pretend you didn't see him and went, hey, there's that. Because so many people, I know when I was growing up, and I don't know about you, Jackson, it was like, kill them, kill the spiders, kill the snakes, kill this. Oh, they're terrible. And now we're in the world we have because we've over farmed and stripped the soil, and we've overkilled all the wolves. And now we have too many deer, stripping the landscaping, too many whatever. We made so much corn on so many fields that we stripped the land of its nutrition, and then we found out people can't live on corn alone.
You know, I want to just, because we're coming to the end, I want to just show the pictures again, and for you to remind people these are poisonous, correct?
Yes. These are some of the top predators. They are not all of them. There's your black widow. This is the one with the black mark on the bottom.
The red mark, you mean?
The red mark, sorry. The red mark on the bottom. And this is your typical black widow spider. It is in a lot of horror movies.
What about this one?
Doesn't have to be. Okay.
This is the jumping spider.
Okay. Oh, isn't it cute? That's such a cute spider.
It's not that cute, dear. It's cute, but
and it jumps. It has a serious thing. So there's more than 4,000 known species of jumping spiders. I just picked one.
The world just got a lot smaller. How about this wolf spider?
Oh, yeah.
Poisonous, correct?
Absolutely. I picked all poisonous spiders so that you can see some of the most dangerous to be around. I really wanted you to see that. And
the cellar spider?
Yep. The cellar spider is really, really cautionary. Always, always, always respect what you see. Because you might see this one and say, oh, it's just a daddy long legs. They're harmless. Sure, but daddy long legs don't have quite the belly and the look in the legs. And not every state has every spider.
I just want to share this with you. I think this is important. Whatever spider I may see in my life, I hope they're not jumping or flying. I am not going to approach it. I'm going to go the other way. I'm not going to go, hey, little spider. No. Do your thing. Leave me alone. So AMINAH, we have just a little over a minute left. What do you want to leave our audience with when it comes to spiders?
If you hate mosquitoes, love a spider. They're your best way to get them. But also, spiders create a balance so we don't have too many mosquitoes. We don't have too many crickets. We don't have too many aphids that are eating all our flowers. We don't have too many. It's about balancing the world. You have to have predators for every known animal, bug, reptile, whatever nature has. The honeybees have to have flowers and have something to pollinate for us to continue eating. What I want you to hear is the world is a circle. And I need you need the next guy, the next person needs the next person, and the animal kingdom's the same way. The bug kingdom's the same way. The plant kingdom is the same way. We are all connected. If I don't have a honeybee, I won't have beautiful flowers or corn or apples or whatever, cucumbers. And if I don't have the mosquito, which is food for all these other birds that we go through and have, we won't have eagles, we won't have doves, we won't have pigeons, we won't have any of it. We've got to have everything. If you like it or not, just respect it and say, hey, you stay over there. I'm going to live over here. You live over there. And try to do it without chemicals, because Raid, and I own my years of using Raid. I own that and Roundup. I now know better, and I'm learning every single day. And that's what I'm sharing is I've lived these choices, and I'm just as guilty. So I'm growing, and I'd hope everybody grows with us.
Thank you so much for this fabulous show and these great memories that I'm going to go to sleep with. I really do appreciate it. If people want to reach you, what's the best way?
Go to bridgingworlds.us. Every connection, our shows are there. Where's my YouTube link is there. My Facebook, where I joke around about everything and try to teach you with joy and love and caution of how to coexist with all of this. Because if we don't coexist, we're on the precipice. We are on the cliff right now in this world of no food, no water, no world, and us gone.
No good.
So if you'd like to have beautiful flowers and beautiful trees and kitties, I have a cat right now who's adamant to get this fly on this window in front of me, and I'm keeping it in, and Emma's just a word, but I love her. I love watching her glee. I love her that she can't get to the bug. But think about that. Think about all the love and joy you want to share with your family, or see your grandkids or your great-grandkids, your grandmother, your aunt, uncle, whatever. Or have that new pet that you've been waiting for the right time. It can't happen if we all don't cooperate and not destroy it.
Very well put. Thank you. Thank you for summing that up. We are finished with our shows for this week, and we're so grateful for everyone for being here and watching. I do have just one quick announcement that on Sunday, I'll be working. What? Yes, it's our reunion show again. So we're super excited. If you didn't get a chance to sign up, just go over to our website, look for the reunion show. We're starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you, AMINAH. Thank you, Spider Community. Thank you, mosquitoes. Thank you, birds. We appreciate and respect all of you, and we'll be back, as I mentioned, on Sunday. And AMINAH and I will see you next Friday.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye, everyone. Bye.